Making cornmeal with a solar Cookit, filmed in eastern Chad in 2009. Many development experts claim that traditional foods cannot be made with the simplest of all solar cookers, the Cookit. The traditional method for cooking cornmeal is to boil it over an open fire, stirring constantly for 15 to 20 minutes. Here's a short clip that shows Sudanese refugee women preparing a batch of cornmeal that was cooked in a solar Cookit. This cornmeal or boule was cooked from 11:30 until 12:30 in early November 2009 in eastern Chad. Since the cooking pot is still very hot, the women use pot holders to hold it in place while it's whipped to the proper consistency before serving. Because there's no soot from a fire and no burned food stuck to the inside of the pot, cleaning the pot is much easier and it requires much less water to clean than a pot heated over an open fire. Preparing cornmeal with a Cookit does take longer than over an open fire, but since the Cookit does not need to be tended, women can do other things while their food is cooking, like sitting in the shade and weaving baskets during the 60 to 90 minutes it takes their cornmeal and sauce to cook with free sunshine. This lady's Cookit is simmering her lunch in a sunny corner of her yard while she makes clay pots to hold the herbs she sells from her kitchen garden. Instead of having to stop and build a fire to cook lunch, this lady can continue with her hair weaving business while her food solar cooks in her yard. Although it takes only 15 to 20 minutes to boil cornmeal over an open fire, the wood must first be gathered from great distances and carried home. It must be cut to the proper size and dried if necessary. The fire must be built and water must be brought to a boil before cooking can even begin. While the cornmeal is cooking, it must be stirred constantly. The women in these photos are both sitting in the sun, cooking over open fires, when they could be sitting in the shade while their food solar cooked using the free energy of the sun. In November 2009, hundreds of Sudanese refugee women gathered in Toulon camp to prepare a feast for a group of departing visitors. The women brought their Cookits, pots, and raw ingredients for cornmeal, sauce, beans, and meat. It was another sunny day in Chad, so no wood was needed to build fires. Good thing, because building and tending hundreds of fires would not have been possible for this event, but setting up each of the several hundred solar cookers took each woman only a few minutes. While the food cooked, the women sat under the few remaining trees in the camp, visiting with neighbors and waiting for the sun to cook their food and heat their water for tea. It really was a wonderful lunch, all traditional foods and all cooked with solar cookers.